Hey Whiskers, Kimonie here. So, I made this delicious no-bake granola bar. If you want to see how I did that, then keep on watching. Okay, so all the ingredients and measurements will be down below in the description box, as you already know. My first step is to toast my oats and my almonds. So I'm just putting it on a baking sheet and I'm going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes on 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I will take it out at 5 minutes and give it a quick stir and then put it in for the other 5 minutes. In a saucepan, I am adding my sugar, my salt, and my vanilla. So that's all in one saucepan. I'm also going to add some maple syrup. I chose to use maple syrup because the smell of honey gives me a headache, and so I try not to use it in my recipes. But if you have honey more accessible, you can use that, or you can also use corn syrup. They all work the same. I'm also adding some margarine, and this recipe is so great because you can substitute so many of the ingredients. So if you don't have margarine and you have butter or you have vegetable oil, then feel free to use that. So I'm just giving it a quick stir to ensure that the sugar isn't stuck to the bottom of the pan. At that point, my 5 minutes was up, and so I just took out my tray from the oven, gave it a quick mix, and then I'm going to put it back for another 5 minutes to finish toasting. So on medium heat, I had my liquid ingredients and I just had it there until it came almost to a boil, when my butter was melted and my sugar was dissolved. Now by the end of that, my 10 minutes was up, and so I took my tray out and I just gave everything a quick mix to see if it was fully toasted, and it was as toasted as I wanted it to be. And so now it's time to combine my ingredients. So in a bowl, I just added my oats and my almonds, gave it a quick mix again just to check if it was toasted. Then I added my liquid ingredients. This will be hot, so be careful. So I just mixed it until it was thoroughly incorporated and all my oats and my almonds were coated evenly. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay, so once that was done, I just added my cranberries. If you don't have cranberries, you can use raisins or any other dried fruit, or you can omit this. It's all up to you, but it does add added sweetness and a little bit of tart. So I gave that a quick mix, and then I'm going to set it aside to allow it to cool for a little before adding my chocolate chips. While that is cooling, I will grease my pan. Now I'm using a springform pan. If you don't have one, you can just use any square dish or container, and you can line it with foil or parchment or anything like that. So after it was cooled-ish, I was too lazy to wait. I added my chocolate chips. It was still warm, and so my chocolate started melting, but I really didn't mind. If you have a problem with this, wait until it's fully cooled before adding your chocolate chips. I'm using mini chocolate chips, but you can use the average size ones if you prefer. So I'm just going to press this in the bottom of my pan. So you can use the back of a spoon or a spatula, or you can just wet your fingers and use those, because I mean, why not? So I'm using the back of my spatula because it's more flexible, and I mean, it was already dirty, so why get my fingers dirty? Here I'm spraying the back of the spatula so that the chocolate and the oats can stop sticking to it. So if your fingers are wet, it should work just fine. If not, just add a little vegetable oil or cooking spray to whatever device you're using. Now this is completely optional, but I'm adding a few extra chocolate chips on top since mine melted mostly, and of course for decoration purposes. So I'm doing that, and then I'm going to use the back of my spatula to press them in as well. Okay, so this is what it looked like, and at this point you just need to put it in the refrigerator for like an hour or two, or in my case where I forgot about it, overnight, and release it from your pan. If you're using foil, then you can just lift the foil and it should come out. Here I'm using my springform pan, as I said before, so I just need to release the bottom, and you can cut as desired. So you can do squares or you can do rectangles, which is what I did. So because no extra chocolate never hurt nobody before, I'm drizzling some melted chocolate on top of my granola bars. It's just chocolate chips and a dash of milk, which is optional, and melt it in the microwave, put it in a bag and sprinkle it. I'm also using some peanut butter that was warmed in order to be pipeable, and that's it. I'm adding some for decoration and for being extra. So yeah, that's pretty much the recipe. I hope you guys give this a try. If you do, don't forget to tag me everywhere, and yeah, if you haven't so far, subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, and watch all my videos. This is what they looked like, and listen, they taste better than they look, and that's for sure. So I'll see you guys next week with another video. Until then, stay golden.